Hello everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. How are you doing, people? I hope you're doing well and good. This is NyabohanseTeacher live from my living room. Today we are going to learn about some misuse forms, especially pronouns, prepositions. Sorry, and I said in my other live session that we have fixed preposition combinations with words, and it is good to learn them because some of them may not have a defined rule, so you have to learn them systematically and use them in your daily speech. I hope you're going to have an interactive and a very nice lesson today. It's gonna be a very short lesson and a very informative. Keep locked. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment and share to everyone that you know, so that we grow NyabohanseTeacher. So keep locked. Watch up to the end. Tell me what you wanna. Tell me what you feel about the lesson. Bless up. Keep locked. Okay, we had reached number 15. So today we are continuing. I have the word number 16. We have confidence. Confidence in, not to. You should not say that I have great confidence to you, but you should say I have great confidence in you. Note, in confidence, let me tell you something in confidence. That is as a secret. So that one, it can be used there. So still in is used in that manner. And then conform, we have the word conform. Conform goes with to and not with. So don't say that we must conform with the rules. We say we must conform to the rules. Note, comply takes with. You say now, we'll comply with your request. So that means comply takes with. Okay? And then congratulate. You say congratulate on, not for. So you should say I congratulate you. You should not say I congratulate you for your success. You say that I congratulate you on your success. That will be better than just saying for. Congratulate on your success. Though sometimes for is used in one way or the other, maybe when talking about a specific thing. Okay, we shall reach there. Consists of, not from. Don't say a year consists from 12 months. You say a year consists of 12 months. You should know that take great care never to use consists in the passive form. And you know the passive form, that is when now the object starts the verb and then the subject becomes our object. I mean, that is where you find the verb is in its passive form. Okay. Okay. Covered with, not by. Don't say the mountains are covered by snow. You say the mountains are covered with snow, or they are covered in snow. That will be the best way to speak there. And then cure of, not from. Don't say that the man was cured from his illness, but say the man was cured of his illness. You should know that the noun cure takes for. The noun cure takes for. That means it is if it is a noun. So there is no cure for that disease. So the word now, if it is used as a noun, then that means it becomes used for. The other one, cured, it is used as a verb, so we have to use of. All right. And then we move to 22 very fast. Depend on or upon, not from. You should not say that it depends from her. You should say that it depends on her. Or you can say it depends upon her. Though it is naturally good to say it depends on her. That is the best way to do it. All right. Note, rely can be used with on or upon. You say that I can't rely on or upon him. So that means, the word rely and depend are more or less the same. Okay. Deprive. You can say somebody deprived of his rights. Deprived of, not from. Don't say Nelson Mandela was deprived from his freedom. You should say Nelson Mandela was deprived of his freedom. should not say that Nelson Mandela was deprived from his freedom. So deprived goes with of, the preposition of. Nelson Mandela was deprived of his freedom. Okay? And then die of an illness, not from an illness. You should not say many people have died from malaria, but you should say many people have died of malaria. You should note that people die of illness, of hunger, of thirst, of, or from wounds, from overwork, by violence, by the sword, by pestilence, in battle, for their country, for a cause, through neglect. Somebody can just die because it's neglected, on the scaffold, at the stake. So these are some of the forms that you just have to master, because if you look for the rules, they may not apply. So you should note that when you're using these words correctly, then you have to say people die of an illness, of hunger, of thirst, of, or from wounds. You can die of wounds or from wounds. Then that one is allowed there, from wounds. From overworking, by violence, by the sword, by pestilence, in battle, for their country, for a cause, through neglect, on the scaffold, at the stake. So, that is how somebody can die in a manner of ways, but it is natural to use die of an illness. Okay. Number 25, different from, not than. Most people that are not naturally indigenous speakers of English confuse these words. Some people would say different from these, not than. So you should say, most people find themselves saying different than and not from. But you should say, my book is different than yours. My book is different than yours. You should not say that my book is different than yours. You should say, my book is different from yours. That one will be the best way to put it or to say. Okay, disappointed. Disappointed by, about, at, not from. Don't say Philippa. Philippa was disappointed from the low mark she got in the test. But you can say Philippa was disappointed by the low marks she got in the test. Or you can say Philippa was disappointed about the low mark she got in the test. Or you can say Philippa was disappointed at the low mark she got in the test. But the best and the most natural word to use there is disappointed by the low mark he got in the test. So sometimes you can use in another manner, disappointed in. Don't say, or with or in, don't say Jane was disappointed from Hassan. You can say Jane was disappointed in Hassan, or disappointed with Hassan. So you note that before a person, we use, if you're disappointed with a person, we use with or in. Before a thing, we use at, about, or by. And before a gerund, we use at. For example, Keith is very disappointed at not winning the prize. So you can note the gerund because of the verb ing there. We use that optional before a clause. I was disappointed that I didn't get an invitation. So it is more general there. I was disappointed that I didn't get an invitation. So we've been told it is optional. Okay. There it has been used to show cause. Okay, I hope you're getting me. But the major difference here, we use with or in when before a thing about, we use at, about, or by before a thing. We move. Divide into parts. Divide into parts. Don't say I divided the cake in 4 parts, but if you say I divided the cake into 4 parts, so you should use that. You should know that a thing may be divided in half or in 2. Okay, Paul divided the apple in half, or you can say Paul divided the apple in two. But then you can say into. It's the most natural word to use there. Okay, number 28. She say, no doubt of or about, not for. You should not say, I have no doubt for his ability, but you should say, I have no doubt of his ability, or I have no doubt about his ability. So if you say, use no doubt of or about. Note, doubtful of, not doubtful of. That means you want to use it once. I am doubtful of his ability to pass. Dressed in, not with. Don't say the woman was dressed with black. You should say that the woman was dressed in black. The woman was in black is also correct. That is a point to note. The woman was in black, though that means that the woman was dressed in black in simple terms. Exception to, not of. Don't say this is an exception of the rule. You'll say that this is an exception to the rule. That means when you're talking about syntax in grammar, there are other words that you say that in every rule there must be an exception. So you can give an example by saying this is an exception to the rule. Okay, you know that we say with the exception of. She liked all her subjects with the exception of physics. Now that is when of is used. Number 31, exchange for, not buy. Don't say he exchanged his collection of matchboxes by some foreign stamps, but you should say he exchanged his collection of matchboxes for some foreign stamps. So exchanged goes with for. Note, in exchange for, he gave them his old car in exchange for a new one. Okay? Fail in an exam, for example, not from. Should not say that Stephen failed from maths last year. You should say Stephen failed in maths last year. We continue by saying next 33, full of, not with or from. Don't say the jar was full with or from oil. You should say the jar was full of oil. That is the most natural way to put it. Note that fill takes with fill takes with. For example, Jane filled the glass with water. Jane filled the glass with water. But again, naturally we use full with of. Fill can take now with. Get rid of, not from. Should not say I'll be glad to get rid from him, but should say I'll be glad to get rid of him. That will be the most natural way to put it. Okay. Glad about, not from or with. Don't say Francis was glad from or with receiving your letter. But again, you should say Francis was glad about receiving your letter. Glad about receiving your letter. I hope that is sinking in. Good at, not in. You should not say my sister is good in maths. You should say my sister is good at maths. So though in is used in a number of ways. For example, note bad at, clever at, quick at, slow at, etc. However, weak in. He is weak in grammar. He is good in class, which means that his conduct is good. So as I can see here, the difference is simple. When you say at, that means it is a specific thing. In could be general. For example, if you see in weak in grammar, good in class. Okay, yeah, that is just naturally way to say. Good in mathematics, when you're talking about a subject, you say good at. bad at, clever at, quick at, slow at, weak in. You cannot say weak at, say weak in. Grammar. He's good. Cannot say good at class, say good in class. Okay, just like that. No rule. Next, 37. Guard against, not from. Should not say you must guard from bad habits. Should say you must guard against bad habits. You must guard against bad habits. Should not say you must guard from bad habits, but say you must guard against bad habits. Next, 38. Guilty of, not for. Don't say he was found guilty for murder, but he was found guilty of murder. So if you say that one, that is the most appropriate. Independent of, not from. Claire's independent from her parents. You'll say that Claire is independent of her parents. That means she depends on herself. So she should not say independent from her parents. Note, we say dependent on. A child is dependent on its parents. You should know that the child takes the possessive pronoun its. We don't say his or hers because we don't know the gender of the child. So that is also a very key, very important aspect there. Number 40. Indifferent to, not for. You should not say they are different for politics, but you should say they are indifferent to politics. They are indifferent to politics. Yeah. We move. Insist on, not to. I'm going very fast because I just want this lesson to be 20 minutes. Insist on, not to. Don't say he always insisted to his opinion. You should say he always insisted on his opinion. So you should use insist on, in, not insist to. So he always insisted on his opinion. You should not say he always insisted to his opinion. Persist takes in. He persisted in his silly ideas. 42. Interested in, not for. Don't say she's not interested for her work, but say she's not interested in her work. So that is that. Note that also takes an interest in by saying she takes a great interest in music. Jealous of, not from. Don't say he is very jealous from his brother, but you say he's very jealous of his brother. That it means he's jealous. Is jealous of his brother. So jealous of. Leave for a place, not to a place. Don't say they are leaving to England soon. You should say they are leaving for England soon. And in fact, this is rule number 44. So many people make this mistake in an office environment or any other place. Most people that are not indigenous speakers of English, that learn English as language one, then this one you may find you in cross bumps. Okay, living for a place. Live on, not from. Don't say he lives from his brother's money. You say he lives on his brother's money. Feed, not that feed on goes with on. Some birds feed on insects. So feed goes with on, live goes with on. All right. Look at, not to. Don't say look to this beautiful picture, but say look at this beautiful picture. Let us learn the ones below. Also, gaze at, stare at, but look after means take care of, look for, try to find, look over, examine, look into, examine closely. That means if you want to find something or knowledge. Look on or upon, consider, look down on, to have a low opinion of or despise somebody. Look up to, respect, look out for, expect. Look forward to, expect with pleasure. Look to, rely on. Okay, let's finish this page. Married to, not with. Don't say that Angela was married with a rich man, but say Angela was married to a rich man. Also engaged to. Sally was engaged to Peter for a whole year before they got married. So that is how it can be used. Married to, engaged to, opposite to, not from. Number 48. Should not say their house is opposite from ours. Don't say their house is opposite from, but say the house is opposite to ours. Not opposite ours is also correct. So you can say that their house is opposite ours. Okay. Number 49. Pass by a place, not from a place. Will you pass from the post office? But again, you should say, will you pass by the post office? You should say that, will you pass by the post office? You should also note that also pass, the post office is correct. So you can say, will you pass the post office? Then that will still be correct. Okay, next, play for a team, not with a team. Don't say that he plays regularly with that team, but say he plays regularly for that team. Pleased with, not from. Don't say the teacher is pleased from me, but you should say that the teacher is pleased with me. Pleased with, not from. Don't say the teacher is pleased from me, but say the teacher is pleased with me. Note, we say pleased at or pleased with if an abstract noun or a clause follows. For example, pleased with me. They were pleased at what he said. Or you can say they were pleased with what he said. Or they were pleased at her results. So that's a noun clause. Okay, popular with, not among. John's popular among his friends. You should not say that, but you should say that John is popular with his friends. Prefer to, not from. Don't say I prefer blue pen from that red one, but you should say I prefer a blue pen to a red one in simple terms if you don't like words, a lot of words. Also note that preferable to, this guy is preferable to my old one. Thank you for watching. Let us continue that next time. This is NyabohanseTeacher recording live from my sitting room. I wish you a fantastic day. Bless up, one love.